Welcome to the Uzziah Show, where being young, black, and successful is celebrated. I am your host, Uzziah, your success strategist. And if you have any questions about your business, money, or career path, then this is the show for you. So just to give you all a quick background, in 2013, I paid off over $95,000 in student loans 2 years after graduating from Baylor University. And from that time, I've become a real estate investor, a best-selling author, and an entrepreneur. And my goal is to help y'all get to the next level. So thank you so much for joining. In today's episode, we're going to talk about your purpose. What is your purpose? I'm going to open up the lines as always for comments. Make sure y'all got y'all's cameras ready, and we will also go into some Q&A. So real quick, let's do a quick shout out. Y'all know how we start off the show. You know, we got to come correct. Shout out to the brothers Chevis checking in from Austin, Texas. All right. Brothers in Austin today. Okay. Peace, black man. Good to see you as always. Peace to my brother Native that's in the house. Peace. Peace to the brothers. Peace to the sisters. Thank y'all so much for joining. If this is your first time watching the show, please make sure that you leave a comment. Let us know that you're here so that we can give you a warm welcome. Thank you for coming and joining the family. Please leave your name. Please leave your city so that way we can reach out to you. We could show you a lot of support from wherever you are. Shout out to Ariel, who is in Austin, Texas. Shout out to Ariel. Now, before we talk about your purpose, and before we start to advertise some of these businesses, right? Because y'all know that this show is all about giving our brothers and sisters an opportunity for their businesses to go forward. So on this show, I give business owners the opportunity to promote their businesses here for free. And as I go through every show, I try to give y'all as much game as I possibly can to help you reach your goals and become the best version of yourself. But this is all I ask for in return. Number one, no bad energy. All right. If y'all were on yesterday, y'all saw that we're going to need moderators for this show. We're going to need support in keeping this show managed and keeping it positive, because you got folks that are chiming in that do not have our best interests at heart. I've been telling y'all every single day. They've been coming for me. From the time that I started this show, they've been coming for me, y'all. So we need to have your support. We need to start getting moderators. We have big visions on how we can grow this show. Opportunities for us to be able to get jobs, us to be able to have our own staff, where we can ultimately build our own platform. Native is from Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina. North Carolina is in the house. Shout out to Azaniah, King Azaniah. Round Rock is in the building. All right. Thank y'all so much for joining. And as always, please make sure that you like and subscribe. This brings us to my second point. Keep the engagement flowing, okay? No dry rooms whenever we do these shows. Make sure that you leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about what we're talking about. I want to chime in. I want to see where your head is at. What do you think on the subject of what is your purpose? What is your purpose? I'm asking you that right now. What is your purpose? Leave a comment. Make sure that you cam up, y'all. Make sure that you get active on this show. This is for us to have our own lane and our own space in positive Black male media. So please make your presence felt. Tell your story. We're here to celebrate you. And as always, keep the likes up, y'all. Keep the likes up, keep the likes up, keep the likes up. By you keeping the likes up, just by smashing that like button, it only takes 2 seconds. This tells YouTube that you want this show to be on air. All right. This is telling YouTube that this show belongs on this platform. So if you want to see the show kept on the platform, then please smash that like button so that YouTube gets the message. And for all of y'all that have questions about your business, about your personal finances, about your career path, if you're looking to grow and get a better job, please make sure that you leave your questions in the super chat. We already got a topic for today, but if you want me to help you right here personally, then leave your question in the super chat and I got you covered. And for all of you brothers and sisters that super chat just to be able to keep the show going, thank you in advance. These donations go a very long way. I cannot run the show as regularly as I do without y'all's support. So please keep the super chats coming, keep the likes up. And if you have a business that you want me to promote on this channel, please send me an email at uzziah@blackmenscareer.com. If you want your business to be featured on this show for free, then please send me an email at uzziah@blackmenscareer.com with your website, with all of the details, how people can get in contact with you and learn more about your business. Now that we got all of that out the way, let's get into the topic today, y'all. Today, we're talking grown man talk today. No little boys allowed on today's episode. Today's talk is finding your purpose. What is your purpose in life? Every man should strive to live a purpose-driven life. Otherwise, why are you living? I want to share with you real quick the definition of purpose, just so we all on the same page. The definition of purpose is the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. Purpose is the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. What has God created you for on this earth? Why does he allow you to breathe this air? Every last one of us has a purpose. The question is, are you tapping into it? Are you walking in your purpose? And do you know what your purpose is? Today's topic, we're going to talk about what is your purpose. And the reason why this is such an important topic for Black men is because most of us don't know our purpose. We are lost sheep struggling to find our way. So why is it that we don't know our purpose? Why is it that we're out here living life, doing whatever, sleeping with whoever, acting however, and we have not connected with our true calling in life? The reason why most of us don't know our purpose is because we don't spend enough time with God and we don't spend enough time with ourselves. We get so caught up in all these worldly influences that we don't pay attention to our calling. This is why I always stress the importance of putting the Most High in everything that you do so that he can order your steps. Y'all know we always keep a scripture, y'all. This is in Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. It says, "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. See, Jeremiah, he already had a purpose before he was even born. The same way that God had a purpose for Jeremiah, he has a purpose for all of us. The first key to finding your purpose is to pay attention to your anointing. What is the anointing that God has placed over your life? Some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. You know, growing up, people used to always tell me, you know, one day you're going to be a preacher or you're going to be a reverend. And I never believed them because that was never my thing. You know, I was never a church boy growing up. I never, read the word. I never wanted to really have a connection like that with God at a very young age. But as I got older, I started to notice that there was something special about my spiritual walk. I started to recognize that there was a certain spiritual calling that I had that made my life kind of different than everybody else that I was seeing in the people that I was growing up with. You know, I had a lot of homeboys and they was getting into all types of things, but it was like a certain spiritual discipline that God put on my life, even when I didn't know what I was doing with myself. You know, sometimes God will put things in your life that you can't make sense of, but it's there. I'm going to give y'all another example. We're on the Uzziah show, but I never wanted to do a show. I'm antisocial. But people would always tell me, yo, Uzziah, when you talk, the people will listen. You have a way with words that's so compelling. You really need to be out there speaking more than you do. And I would be just so dismissive, not trying to hear what people had to say because of the fact that I'm introverted, I'm antisocial. I don't really like talking to people like that. But sometimes the fleshly desires that we have doesn't line up with our anointing. I was so locked in on what I wanted to do that I was running away from my calling, right? I always think about Jonah and how he was running away from his calling that he was given from the Most High. But if you live long enough, the Most High is going to point you in a direction that you need to go. Sometimes we tend to run away from things because it scares us. Sometimes we run from our anointing because we're afraid. Pay attention to your anointing. What is your calling? What is it that you are anointed to do? See, my calling is to be the best servant of the Most High that I could possibly be, while providing for my family as well as my nation. This is the reason why every time I get on this show, no matter what we're talking about, I always bring the Most High into the picture, because I can do nothing without him as a part of the purpose that God has given to me. I know my purpose. It's time for you to understand yours. What is your purpose? And are you spending enough time with God and yourself to figure that out? I'm going to pause real quick and start looking at these comments. I keep telling y'all not to make these comments dry. I keep telling y'all, are y'all with me? Make your presence felt. Make your comments heard. If you coming in, let us know what you think on this topic. Does having a purpose in life matters? Or can you just go through life just winging it? Can you just go through life, just in a daze, wandering, going through the motions? Does purpose matter to you? Do you know what your purpose is, or are you still finding it? Again, like I told y'all before, This is grown man talk, because grown men understand eventually you have to walk in your purpose. When you're a child, you could spend all of your life going, through the motions and getting all up in your feelings, because that's all life is about as a child. But once you become a man, you got to put away childish things. You have to start to identify, what is your life about? That's what we're talking about in today's episode, finding out your purpose and walking in it. So let's talk a little bit more about listening to yourself. We can't even get on the subject of listening to yourself because there's so many things that are blocking you from why you can't hear your own voice. I'm going to give y'all 3 reasons why you can't hear your own voice, so that way you can walk in your purpose and make the most of your calling. Reason number 1, you allow humble beginnings to blind you from your purpose. You say to yourself, well, I'm from the hood, so I'm not supposed to amount to nothing. I'm a black man. I got it hard in this life. It's hard to be me in society. I didn't grow up, like all these other communities. And because of which you convince yourself that you have no purpose. Somebody might have told you that you was dumb and you believed them. So now you use somebody else's negativity to justify why you don't have a purpose. You must understand that where you started in life does not define your purpose. It's not about where you start in life. It's about where you end up. Listen to what I'm saying, Kings. Where you started does not dictate your purpose. Look at Antonio. How many of y'all was on the show yesterday when Antonio got on and he told you that before he started working with me, he was over $300,000 in debt? All these years later, Antonio has paid off these $300,000 in debt. Why? Because his purpose was bigger than his debt. See, if he would have imagined a life where, I'm just supposed to be broke. I grew up broke. My family broke. My friends is broke. Everybody is around me broke. So I guess that's just what I'm supposed to be. He understood that his purpose was bigger than his situation. That's how he was able to get rid of the debt in the first place. A lot of times, y'all let the tail wag the dog. You look at the circumstances of your life and say, well, that's my purpose. But you don't realize is that if you walk in your purpose, your circumstances can change. You have to ask yourself, how is my past blocking my future? I got to start getting some comments here, man. Shout out to Yasha Allah. Thank you, as always, Yasha Allah, for setting the tone off. Y'all know, man, we be hard pressed on these super chats sometimes. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the love, brother. Thank you for helping to keep this show going. Okay. I need some commentary from y'all. How have you allowed your past to block your future? Tell me about a time where you went through a traumatic situation in the past and you allowed that to dictate your purpose. The first way that you can listen to your own voice and listen to your spirit that God has given to you is to leave the past in the past and not allow the past to dictate your future. Stop convincing yourself that because of where you grew up, because of what misfortunes that you had, that means that your purpose cannot be bigger and better than where you started. It cannot be just as good as somebody else that grew up in a better situation than you, somebody else that grew up in a better environment, that had a better influence. You can get to success just like them. The second reason why you can't hear your own voice is because you're too busy seeking other people's validation. You cannot hear your own voice because you allow other people's voices to speak louder than you. You allow them to take up more space in your brain than your own thoughts, than your own visions. Y'all got to pay attention to what it is that I'm saying. You know, we strive so hard in this life to want to please everybody that we never focus on pleasing ourselves. We focus so much on trying to blend in that we don't realize that we were created to stand out. We have to get in tune with what our purpose is, because your purpose may be different than somebody else's. But we spend so much time, again, pulling in everybody else's feedback, seeking everybody's validation and getting their opinions, that we do not spend enough time with our own thoughts. I kept telling y'all in yesterday's show about social media and how we find ourselves so pulled by social media's influences that we don't spend enough time with ourselves. We see somebody else driving a nice car, then we make our purpose to run into debt to get a nice car. We see somebody else getting a nice house. We wasn't even thinking about a house before. We make their purpose our purpose. But the purpose that the Most High has for you is different than them. And that's the reason why, again, I want us to look at this, because this is what God is trying to show us. We have to put the Most High into all of our worldly success, because when we leave the Most High out of it, you know what happens? We allow our family members, our friends, the media, and people who don't have no idea of how we can be the best version of ourselves tell our story on what type of black man we should be in society. So if you grow up in a neighborhood with a bunch of dope fiends, you allow somebody else to tell the narrative that you should be selling dope. That's not your purpose. You grow up in a neighborhood where you spend your last dollar popping bottles, buying J's, but your purpose might be totally different. Your purpose might not be to be the thug. Your purpose may not be to be the drug dealer. Even if you grew up and that was your start in life, it doesn't mean that that's supposed to be your finish. There's always an opportunity to make change, but you have to tap into the Most High, and you have to tap into the spirit that he gave you. I'm going to read this real quick. This is in Ecclesiasticus chapter 37 and verse 27. It says, "My son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. For all things are not profitable for all men, neither hath every soul pleasure in everything." Think about how many times you've seen parents dictate a career path to their kids that those kids were miserable with. Think about how many times you've heard about parents trying to force their kids to be a doctor, but the child might have wanted to be a musician. That's where they had their skills. But when you allow somebody else to dictate your purpose, you are always out of sync with your life and your fulfillment. There's no way that you're ever going to become the best version of yourself walking in somebody else's purpose. Because at the end of the day, you're always going to be in second place to somebody else. When you try to copy somebody else's purpose, you're always going to be the second best version of them. You are never going to outshine somebody else at what it is that they're called to do. So you have to take this time that you have in your life, black man, to lock in with yourself, putting the phone down, putting the TV down, putting all the temptations, the women, and all these other influences down, and coming to an understanding of what is it that I want to do? What are my strengths? What are my skills? What comes easy to me in this life that I can do in my sleep? We are so busy trying to impress other people that we step outside of our natural strengths and we start to take on other things that we ain't got no business doing just to try to please somebody else. This is why we live average. We cannot live a life of excellence until we are locked into our purpose. So I gave y'all the scripture to show you God is commanding you to find your purpose. He's commanding you to find what works for you, because when he created you, he did not create you the same way as everybody else. You know, this society, man, it has so many distractions, so many influences. And one thing that we always have to keep in mind is that you sabotage your purpose when you look for other people to co-sign the vision that God gave to you and you alone. You sabotage your purpose in life whenever you're expecting somebody else to co-sign a message that God gave to you only. Let me tell y'all something. The best decisions that I've made in my life that got me the most success were the ones that were the most opposed by other people. When I decided to go to college, my choice of schools was rejected by everybody. I didn't have any family or friends helping me pack my bags to go to college in Waco, Texas. I had to go there on my own. I did not have any funding to go to college in Waco, Texas. I had to take on that debt on my own. The purpose that I imagined for my life looked different than what my family and my friends wanted me to do. They wanted me to stay in California. And guess what? Years later, look at the thousands upon thousands of people that have left California because it's expensive as hell and are moving to Texas. Look at how God was able to open up doors for me because I stayed focused on my purpose, got here to Austin before everybody else caught the wave, and I was able to buy real estate at rock bottom prices here that are 4 times the amount of what I paid for it when I bought the property. You will be able to see things that other people don't see when you walk in your purpose. The same thing happened whenever I was paying off my student loans. The same thing happened when I was marrying my wife. The same thing happened when I left corporate America and started my own business. Every time God gave a purpose for my life, other people could not understand it. And I had to choose whether I wanted to please other people and step outside of my purpose or be obedient to the purpose that God gave to my life and walk in it. I'm saying it about me because the same holds true for you. And these are only things that you can know. And the truth of the matter is, this has happened to me so many times in my life that I'm looking for resistance in every decision I make just to confirm that I'm on the right path. If everybody agrees with what you're doing, it doesn't always mean it's the right decision. It means it's comfortable. If everybody agrees with me in all of the big decisions I make, the goals that I want to accomplish, the dreams that I have set out for my life, if everybody agrees with me, I must not be dreaming big enough. I must not truly be walking in my purpose because this purpose was given to me and me alone. The purpose that was given to you was only given to you. I don't understand fully what the purpose is for your life. I'm just trying to inspire you to search it. Cut off the TV and search your own spirit to find out what your purpose is. Most people will never see the value of your purpose until you've gotten to the other side. That's why you cannot look for other people's opinions. You cannot look for other people to co-sign your dream. By the time that most people realize that you were on to something and walking in your purpose, you're already on to something else because you stopped, you finished that stage of your purpose years ago. I'm telling you, you'll know that you're walking in your purpose when you're always one step ahead of what everyone else can see. If everybody else can see what you're doing, that means you're not walking in your purpose. That means you're not putting in the work. That means that you're not standing out. You're too busy locked in with what everybody else got going on. Let me check these comments real quick to see where y'all at. As Anaya said, this makes me think about beware of a counselor. Absolutely. When we have to be mindful of the type of influences we invite in our lives. And I'm going to talk about that because one big problem that we have in our community is sometimes brothers will talk you out of something because they don't want to see you pass them. Y'all don't hear me? Sometimes, can I get a witness? I need comments on this. I need commentary. Sometimes people will talk you out of your purpose because your purpose will pass them. And people do not want to get passed up. Like I always tell y'all, people want to see you do good as long as it ain't better than them. So if you tell them, okay, if you grew up in the hood, right? And nobody went to college. You say you want to go to college. Expect for people to talk you out of going to college because you going into college may symbolize the fact of what they couldn't accomplish. If you tell somebody at the job, do y'all know how many people laughed at me whenever I told them I was quitting my job? I literally was getting laughed out the door when I was leaving HP. When you talk about your ambitions, it threatens people. It intimidates them. It makes them insecure because what you're on is far passing how much they want to push themselves in their own life. And it bothers them that you're so focused on pushing you that they'll pull you back if you're not careful. This is the reason why I'm saying the things that I'm saying. This is the reason why, as Anaya says, it's always a person who didn't do it telling you that you shouldn't do it. This is a big thing in our community. We got to talk our talk. We all know about that family member from the block who had all this advice on how you got to be living your life, but they did not do nothing themselves. We have to watch our energy, brothers. We have to watch the things that we put out into the world, because sometimes when you focus on your purpose, it's so intimidating to other people that they will go out of their way to sabotage you. And that's the reason why this channel is about celebrating you and your success, okay? It's very hard to find a group of people that will know your purpose and inspire you to walk in that purpose every single day. It's so much easier to find people who will try to talk you out of your purpose, so that way you will end up average just like them. Don't let it happen, black man. Don't let it happen. I hope that's the reason why you're here. We have to start listening to our own voice. We got to lock in with the Most High, and we got to listen to the spirit that he's given us, okay? We have to understand that the third reason why we can't hear our own voice and walk in our purpose is because you are too afraid to bet on yourself. If y'all didn't take nothing else from what I've been talking about in this show thus far, I don't know if y'all with me. We do not tap into our purpose because we are too afraid to bet on ourselves. This is a big reason why the 9 to 5 is so big. The 9 to 5 job system is so big because they're looking for people to not bet on themselves. They're actively looking for people to not believe in their own gifts, and they want to take you into their system so they can give a purpose to you. They want to tell you what the purpose that they have for your life is. Now, am I saying that all of us should be entrepreneurs? No. And am I saying that there's a problem with having a job? No. What I'm saying is that this society has built a system that encourages you not to think. It encourages you not to think for yourself. It encourages you not to challenge conventional norms. And if you are too afraid to bet on yourself and think for yourself, it is going to create an easy path of least resistance for you to die average. That might be a hard bar, and some of y'all don't want to hear it. But my job is to tell you the truth so that way you can make the most of your life. And everything that you do, Black man, you need to consider your best interest at heart. You need to think about what is best for you, your future, your family, your nation. You need to think about the future generations of those that will come after you. And a lot of times we as a people, we piss on the future generation because we did not have enough courage within ourselves to build ourselves up enough to be the right person for our people to count on us. I'm going to take a pause real quick. I'm going to look at these comments. Shout out to Native, my brother Native. Thank y'all for joining. Shout out to my brother Native, Arain, for the $9 super chat, $10 super chat. Thank y'all so much for hopping on. Make sure that you share the show, y'all. This is a very, very, very important show. Yo, a lot of brothers want to know, why don't I have the success that somebody else has? Because you're not walking in your purpose. Your purpose is different than their purpose, but you're so busy focused on somebody else's purpose, you're not taking the time to water your own purpose enough for your own thing to take off. You got to spend time with yourself to identify what your purpose is. If not, you know who got a purpose for you? The media. You know who got a purpose for you? The 9 to 5, your boss. You know who got a purpose for you? Your mama, your grandmama. Everybody knows how to live your life better than you. And if you don't have the courage to bet on yourself, you're going to be in a body where other people are pulling the strings. They're going to be the puppet master of your life. Then you're going to get old and angry because you didn't have enough courage to bet on yourself. I'm telling it to you now. Today is the youngest that you're ever going to be, Black man. Bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. Nobody wants to see you win in life more than you. Nobody else is going to put you on game on what is best for your life better than what you can do in the time that you dedicate to your own purpose. Your purpose is already mapped out. That was something that was already planned before you even got on this planet. God already created a purpose. He just wants to see if you're willing to bet on yourself to walk in it. You just got to step into it, man. That's all it is. A lot of this stuff is just stepping into it. How do you start your own business? By stepping into it, betting on yourself. Okay, if you've been keeping a 9-to-5 job for the past 5, 10, 15 years, there's obviously something that you are doing that is proficient enough for somebody else to keep you paid. Somebody's keeping you on the payroll because of the quality of the job that you do. So they have more belief in your talent than you. They have more trust that you will get the job done to make them rich than you have trust in yourself to get your life accomplished. What is your vision, black man? What is your purpose? What has God called you here to do? Not your home girl, not your homeboy, not your partner down the street. What has God called you to do? Until you tap into this, you're never going to be fulfilled. You're never going to be satisfied, because every day you wake up, you're going to say to yourself, man, I know I ain't walking in my purpose. I know I'm out here living for everybody else. I'm living for the boss. I'm living for these women. I'm living for what, the latest athlete then said that I'm trying to be like. I'm living for the latest hustler. It's never about yourself. And you know, one of the craziest thing, Kings, you can never be an asset to somebody else until you become an asset for yourself. Somebody is suffering right now because you're not walking in your purpose. That might be your son. That might be your daughter. That might be your wife. That might be your mother. You might have a family member that's on life support right now, and you don't have the resources to keep their medical treatments going because of all of these years you haven't been walking in your purpose. You ain't been to the places that you want to be in life because you haven't been on your purpose. You haven't been around the people that you want to surround yourself with because you are not walking in your purpose. Everything boils down to your purpose. See, I don't expect a lot of us to resonate with this kind of talk because we're so busy focused on the results that we don't focus on the mentality to get to the results. We don't spend the time thinking, okay, you know what? Give me game, Uzziah, on how to be a business owner. But I can't give you the game on how to be a business owner because you don't believe in yourself enough to walk in your own purpose. So the minute that you try to set up a business, you will fail. I cannot give you the game on what to say during a negotiation to get a 6-figure salary at your job during the interview because you're not betting on yourself enough in walking in your purpose. You walking in your purpose is the missing link in the chain. You are already talented enough to thrive at what you do. You're already smart enough. You already have the skill. A lot of y'all know what to do better than half the people that's out here doing it, making a killing. But you know the difference between them and you? They're walking in their calling. You're not walking in yours. You're still caught up with so many distractions. Shout out to Dunamis Bacchus. $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for investing in positive Black media. Thank you for the investment. Let's keep this thing going, y'all. If you just joined us, make sure that you smash the like button. Make sure that you tell a friend. Positive Black male media has finally come to YouTube. Spread the word. And if you don't invest in positive Black media, then don't expect anybody else to do it for you. We complain on what we don't have, but now here's an opportunity. Are we going to invest to have our own platform? All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Back to the show. So when we talk about you locking in on your purpose, it starts with you having a sense of courage. That's what we're going to talk about on our next show next Tuesday. Do black men have confidence? Y'all not ready for that talk. I'm giving you a whole weekend to brace yourself, to get yourself ready, to buckle up. Do black men really have confidence? We're going to talk about it on the next show. The third reason why you cannot hear your own voice is because you're too afraid to bet on yourself. I want y'all to understand something, brothers. You become easily discouraged in life because you mistake purpose for outcome. Listen to what I'm saying. So many of us, we don't walk in our purpose because we mistake purpose for outcome. I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say that you feel that your purpose is to be an entrepreneur because entrepreneur solves problems in the world. But because you're not a multi-million-dollar entrepreneur right now, you let go of the vision altogether. This is you mistaking purpose for outcome. When you talk about impact, when you talk about finances, when you talk about all of the results that you want from what your purpose will bring, that's an outcome. Your purpose is the pursuit of getting to the destination. Living in your purpose doesn't mean that you've reached the end result. It means that you are on your path, taking one step closer to your goal every single day. Here's an example for you. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King's purpose did not materialize until after he died. The results behind his effort did not come until after he was gone. But while the man was living, he walked in his purpose. The things that he wanted out of life, he took one step closer towards every single day. Too many of us are giving up on purpose because we're looking for instant results. Instant gratification has always been the downfall of black people. Tell me I'm lying. Get offended if you want to. I'm black just like you. I come from the hood just like you. Instant gratification has always been our downfall. If it don't happen right now, we just give up on it. We throw our hands up. What is your purpose, though? We're not talking about what are your results. What is your purpose? Because if you spend enough time with your purpose, the results will come. Here's another one. The men that established America as we know it today, the people that came and conquered this land, do you think that if they could look back on their life, they lived their purpose? Absolutely. Because look at how their people benefited from it. It may not have been that they were going to live in the lap of luxury, but they had a purpose of building a nation. They wanted to build a country how they saw fit. They identified that as their purpose, and they stopped at nothing to get it. No matter how it impacted the rest of society, they walked in their purpose, though. The question is, are you? What is your purpose, and are you walking in it? We mistake purpose for outcomes, but it takes 15 years to become an overnight success. Anytime you see these celebrities, people that are doing it, they're at the climate of their career. You just see them now, but now that the camera is on, what you don't see was all of the days where they never got attention, they never got shine, they never got notoriety because they were laying the building blocks of their purpose. They were walking in their purpose for years before the world ever noticed them. Your purpose is uniquely yours when you make the most of your talents. Stop chasing after everybody else and get comfortable with you. Remember what I talked about 2 shows ago when I was talking about that bat cave? Every black man must have a bat cave. Every black man must have a secret layer where you just block everything else out, block everyone else out, and you stay in that dungeon until you done made something of yourself, and you can now pop out and have something to show to the rest of the world. Until then, there's no reason for partying. There's no reason for posting. There's no reason for chit-chatting because you don't have nothing to talk about. What do you have to talk about if you're not walking in your purpose? If you're not walking in your purpose, why are you here? This is a commitment that you have to make to yourself, to your family, to your ancestors that came before you, that paved the way for you to have the ability to walk in your purpose. You owe it to God because he created you to walk in your purpose. So what steps are you going to take to make sure that this calling, you make the most of it? One reason why we don't fulfill our purpose is because you're not willing to die for it. You're too afraid to bet on yourself because you're not willing to die for your purpose. But when you look at the greatest leaders that ever walked the face of this earth, they were willing to die for their purpose. They laid all on the line. And if you don't have something that you're willing to die for, you're not walking in your purpose as of yet. I'm going to say that again to you, black man. I know that this hurts. If you don't have something that you're willing to die for, you're not walking in your purpose. Because see, if you were walking in your purpose, truly, like for real, sacrifices wouldn't be an issue. Doing the work wouldn't be an issue. A lot of y'all, hit me up, asking me questions. How do I do the work? How do I stop procrastinating? How do I, really lock in like how you be talking about and get focused on my goal? If the purpose was big enough to you in your life, doing the work wouldn't be a problem at all. It would just be easy as 1, 2, 3. Because what else could you have better to do? Sacrifices. Nothing else is bigger than the mission. Nothing else is bigger than your purpose. So you're willing to give up everything to pursue your purpose. And guess what? If you're not willing to give up everything for your purpose, then chances are it's not going to happen. You got so many of us acting like we can have it all. We can hang out, we can shop, we can travel, we can eat whatever we want to, we can say whatever we want to, we can live however we want to live and still get to the success too. They're lying to you. When you look at somebody like the late Kobe Bryant, for example, when you look at the documentaries about Kobe's life, he used to pass by schools as kids from the schools were going to school parties. And he used to ask himself if he did himself a disservice because he wasn't going to the school parties like everybody else, but instead he was going to the gym. Kobe had a purpose. He spent time with his purpose, and that's the reason why we know about the late, great Kobe Bryant right now. The question is, will you walk in your purpose? So if you say that you're a servant of the Most High, how are you walking in that purpose? How are you fulfilling that each and every day? What sacrifices are you willing to take in order to get there? Let me give you all the 3 keys to fulfilling your purpose. And then I want y'all to cam up. As always, I'm going to start putting out the link. The link is going up right now. Look it in the comment section. Just tap it so that way you can join in. I want to ask, what is your purpose? I want you to speak about your purpose. And the reason why I want you to get on camera and speak about your purpose is because when you put that out in the air, you now give yourself accountability. Let's see if you're willing to bet on yourself by telling the world what your purpose is. Let's see if you're bold enough to bet on yourself on that level. The 3 keys to fulfilling your purpose. Number 1, you have to be intentional. Nobody gets to their purpose by coasting there. If you're going to get to the purpose, if you're going to get to your walk, if you're going to get to your calling, you have to be very intentional about it every single day. It is not going to fall in place by magic. You have to architect your life to make it go the way that you want it to go. Because guess what, y'all? Society is already set up for you to go down a certain path. Y'all remember the narrative? Go to school, make good grades, get a good job, buy a nice house. Somebody else has already outlined your purpose. This is the first time in your life that you're actually grabbing the wheel. You're in the driver's seat now, and you have to steer the car where you want it to go. You have to now tap in to get to the destination that you want to get to. Where are you going with your life? You have to be very intentional about your purpose because society has a purpose that is different than yours. Think about it. Think about how many people right now are unsatisfied with their life. Think about one of the top regrets of elderly people before they pass away. One of their top regrets is that they did not do everything that I'm telling you to do on this show. One of the biggest regrets of the elderly, I wasn't bold enough to follow my vision. I wasn't bold enough to walk after my purpose. I was too afraid to say no to somebody else who gave me their purpose that they imposed on my life. And I wish I could do it all over again. Do you want that to be you? Do you want to be the next person that, when it's your last hour of the last day of your life, the last thought that you have before you leave this earth is, man, I wish I would have did this. Man, I wish I would have laid that on the line. Nobody gets to the last day of their life and said, man, you know what I wish I could have did? I wish I could have spent more time watching TV. I wish I could have spent more time on Facebook. I wish I could have spent more time in these women DMs. Nobody says that. What everybody talks about is how they watched a select number of people walk in their purpose and get massive success. And they could have done the exact same thing, and they just didn't have the heart to do it. You get to choose which of those 2 people that you want to be. The person that people look at and say, man, that guy, he's walking in his calling. You could see it. The anointing is on him. Or are you going to be the person that everybody says, man, you know what? That brother could have been somebody, but he was so busy, caught up in drugs, so busy, caught up with the wrong influences, so busy following the wrong crowd. Which brother are you going to be? One brother breaks the cycle. Another brother repeats the cycle for the next generation to follow. The choice is yours, black man. 3 keys to fulfilling your purpose. Number 1, you have to be very intentional because society has a different purpose for your life than you have for yourself. Your boss has a different purpose than you have for yourself. You have to start doing daily affirmations. Start doing daily affirmations. Every single day, you have to reaffirm to yourself what your purpose is, because if not, everybody else out here is waiting to give you theirs. Number 2, surround yourself with people that support your purpose. You are the average of the top 5 people you spend most of your time with. And they have to be purpose-driven just like you. When it comes to the people that you surround yourself with, they have to be on their purpose, And their purpose has to be a purpose that complements yours. We're not kids, y'all. We're adults. If they don't add value to your purpose, they're taking away from your purpose. Straight up. And it don't matter if it's your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your best friend, your homeboy from the block. It doesn't matter who it is. If they are not adding to your life, they are taking away from it. You got to look at everybody in your circle and say, does this person have goals? Does this person have a purpose? Are they lifting me up or are they pulling me down? You have to surround yourself with a circle of people that have complementary visions. Number 3, last but not least, you've got to plant the seeds and let the Most High give the increase. Plant the seeds and let God do the rest. It's as simple as that, black man. What we got to focus on is the things that we can control. Everything else is in God's hands. This is the reason why I tell you, brothers, and I know it's going over your head because you think that it's so cliche, but I'm giving you the answers to my success. Okay. If I paid off $95,000 in student loans almost 10 years ago, do you really think that when I had $95,000 in debt and all I could pay towards the bill was $100, do you think that I was leaning on outcome? Or was I leaning on the faith of the purpose that God gave to me? See, when you dream big, right? When you're dreaming big enough, your goal may not come for the next 5 to 10 years. So what energy will you run off of if you're not focused on purpose? You cannot focus on the results up front because the results ain't coming until 5 to 10 years down the line. Up until then, you got to ask yourself every day, am I walking in my purpose? Yes, that's good enough. Keep working. Every month, every week, every day that I was paying off those student loans, you know what I was saying to myself? One day, you're going to wake up and you're going to be debt free. You can't see it today, and it ain't coming tomorrow. But one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be debt free. Just stick to the process. Stay on your purpose. Do not allow everybody else that don't care about getting out of their student loan debt to pull you off your pivot. Focus on the things that you can control. Everything else is in God's hands. And just because everything doesn't go exactly how you want it to go at all times doesn't mean that your purpose is not being fulfilled. Stay focused, black man. Let's get on these phone lines. Let's cam up. Let's cam up. My brother Yasha Allah, what you got for the people today?
Hey, shalom, big brother. Shalom, family. You hear me?
The connection is a little choppy. It's a little bit choppy.
Let's try to reboot.
Okay, no doubt. I got you. All right, so while he's doing that, I'm gonna start reading these comments and make sure y'all leaving me comments. Make sure you super chatting. Make sure that you smash that like button and subscribe. I kept telling y'all, keep watching these subscriptions. Lauren said, drop those ball and chains. And the ball and chain comes in many forms. It comes in the forms of other people. It comes in the form of the system that's already built for you to amount to nothing. And guess what else? It comes most importantly in the form of your mind. Sometimes, a lot of times, the biggest ball and chain that you have in your life is yourself. So we got to think about this. Sheva says, consider this. Who do you want to be? Are you aware yet? We got to have folks tapping in, y'all. Who's camming up? Who's camming up tonight? As Anaya said, social media got people fooled into thinking there's instant gratification. Facts. Listen, I talked about this on yesterday's show. If you didn't watch yesterday's show, y'all need to watch it. I told y'all on yesterday's show that our people are the biggest consumers of the media. And one thing that the media always does is they only show you the highlight reel. They never show you the behind the scenes footage. They never show you all of the work that goes into being successful. We got to start blocking out the media and we got to get in tune with the real world. A lot of y'all think, see, I'm going to put y'all onto something. The more time you spend on social media, the harder it is for you to think long term. The reason I say that is because you're programming your brain to seek instant gratification every time you put up a post, and you're looking for that instant like. You're checking to see that instant comment. Every time that you're looking for that instant validation, it makes it that much harder to build a business where you're not going to make a dime for it for the next 2 to 3 years. Think about that. Think about what I'm saying to you right now. I'm giving you entrepreneur game. One of the hardest parts of starting your own business is doing a 2 to 3 year stint or longer where nobody sees the work that you've done. Nobody's paying you for the work that you've done, but you move in silence. You make it harder for you to do that whenever you occupy yourself so strong on social media, where for every time you do something in a post, you're programming yourself to get immediate validation. You're not used to doing things where, I got my hand to this and I'm not going to see the results until 5 years later. You know what you're used to? I type something, hit enter, somebody likes, somebody comments, somebody shares. That is actually deprogramming you from your entrepreneurial brain. You could take it or leave it. I'm just giving you the game. All right. Smiley Comfort says we need to start taking care of kids' education funds so they don't need to use student loans. Use tax dollars to invest in mutual funds, stocks, etc. I couldn't agree more. But you know the type of person that will set up education funds for their kids? Somebody who's walking in their purpose. Somebody who believes that a part of their purpose is creating generational wealth. I have a question for everybody that's on this broadcast. Is creating generational wealth a part of your purpose? Is it a part of your purpose to leave a legacy? Yes or no? That's what I want to see. Is it a part of that? Because if it's not a part of that, you'll never set up a college fund because you don't see the value in it. You don't see the necessity on why you would do these things to put money into a mutual fund or a stock, because it's not aligned with how you view yourself and the world. Your purpose and you walking in it, it dictates how you look at the world. And a lot of the reason why we don't set out to accomplish much is because we never set up a purpose for ourselves. Yasha Allah, you back on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shalom, big brother. Shalom, family.
Shalom. Good to see you. Much better now.
Yes. Thing you was saying earlier was you got to be focused. That you got to be disciplined. And a lot of things you're saying making me more aware also what I'm doing and to do things better. The fear factor is still out there in Israel. Like you said, they're so afraid to do something.
Right.
I'm 6 years old. So you imagine that. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
But, and I look back, you're right. Ain't about watching TV. You know what I'm saying? Ain't about playing ball. It's what I'm going to leave behind and what I'm going to have for my future. Like you said, most of us going to die average or below poverty. And I tell people, walk around your neighborhood. Just go for a walk and look at your people. That's because they didn't know no better, they didn't learn, or refused to get out the situation. You know what I mean? So my focus is to obey the Most High God. That's number one. And everything be added to me. You know what I mean? But you got to focus on where I'm going to be at years from now. Like you said, I was driving a truck. It took years to get my own and to get better and to get a position where I'm at today. It didn't happen overnight.
Right.
I ate lo mein, you know what I'm saying? Peanut butter and jelly, and I still eat it today. I went and bought some today, everybody. Old good old peanut butter and jelly. But this keeps me humble because I can get too comfortable. And I did it before. I made a whole lot of money back when I was younger. When I got too comfortable, you start doing stupid things. You know what I mean? So I still do that time to time to keep me humble, to keep my focus and my drive. You know what I mean?
I got a question for you, Ashala. Thank you so much for sharing this. When you were 20 years old, did you look at your purpose the same way that you look at it now at 60 years old?
No. I was jumping out of military aircraft, planes, repelling choppers, and I was gung ho saying, if I died 40, oh well, that's the way it is. But now I didn't think it at all whatsoever. I didn't think 4 years from then. I didn't think I was gonna be 25 or 35. I didn't do none of that. I was just living day to day.
So when you were in your 20s, you didn't think about your purpose. But now at 60, how important is your purpose today?
Bro, it's 1,000 times more purpose because I know I'm 60. So in 15 years, I know I'm gonna be at. I
Right.
can't run around. I gotta keep medical, you know what I mean? And everything else. I gotta keep dental. I gotta make sure that the kids are left behind with an insurance plan. I hope they don't blow it. I'm trying to teach them still. You know what I mean? And people don't look at that. You're gonna get this age if you make it.
Right.
Where you're going to be at. And nobody's putting things in place. Say, whoa. Because nobody talked to me like this. Nobody did.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I tell people, listen, you're going to be there one day. Dog, bro, sis. So, you know, start planning. You should. I say you should. I can't tell what to do. But you should be planning on your plan for where you're going to be and how you're going to get there.
You know the reason why I asked you that question, sir? Reason why I asked you that question is because that's the story of so many of us. The younger we are, the less our purpose matters. The older we are, or you know, as we age, our purpose matters that much more. But when our purpose matters when we get older, you know, we always say, man, I wish I was doing this when I was younger. Man, I wish I knew that when I was younger. You know, tell me I'm lying. Your purpose at 60 is associated with the things that you were doing at 20, 30, 40, and 50. It all ties in, does it not?
Yes, it does. Every day it ties in.
So,
People
so the reason why I was just saying this is because, see, and again, I always love you being on the show because you're able to speak a generation ahead. Like for our Black men, the wise thing to do would be to look at you, hear your words, and be like, yo, the brother is right. If I don't die prematurely, I will see 60 years old, Lord willing. I need to be thinking about 60 now while I'm 20. I need to be thinking about 60 now while I'm 30. I need to be thinking about 60 now while I'm 40. I need to be thinking because it all ties together. This goes back perfectly with what I was talking about yesterday and how when you don't set up that 5 to 10 year roadmap for your life, you have no way of knowing whether or not you're actually destroying what your life could look like in 5 years because of the decisions that you make today. And a lot of us, tell me I'm lying, y'all. Leave me a comment. Are your 30s harder for you because of the decisions that you made in your 20s? Are your 20s harder for you than the decisions that you made as a teenager? Y'all, the decisions that we make today has a ripple effect with what life looks like tomorrow. That's the reason why we have to lock in on our purpose right now, because whatever we do right now is going to come back to haunt us. And I would hope that we set up something now so that way we can start to get the residual effect later.
And a lot of people don't see that. Even with the children, same thing. You know, even though we in this truth, people front. It's like be front. We still love our kids. That's gonna be there. It's a value fight. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of things you realize. Man, I didn't do this with my kids when I was young. They got problems when they're older. You know, I'm trying to. You know, I can't go outside the scriptures, but I made a lot of mistakes.
Right.
And like you said, way back when I was young. You know what I mean? But as I get older, I say, whoa. I don't want them to go through what I went through. No way, you know how. Because it hurts. I'm a man. It hurts. People see me like, you look so strong, so stern. No, it's what I've been through. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's what I've been through, what I've seen, what I did when I get out. There's nothing about that at all. You know what I mean? Once you know me, then you understand me. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of places I go, I'm looking because where I was at, you know, in the military. You know what I mean? It still has effect over 20, 30 years ago. And same thing with your life, the kids, the truth, your lifestyle, all that. And I look, and I have tears in my eyes sometimes, like, people going to be this way in 20 years, 30 years. Mm-hmm. If I can't get along with my kids, they're going to be the same way. I don't want to go that because it's painful.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. And I'm stronger because where I grew up in those years, you know, smiling, laughing, girly stuff. You know, when I grew up, it wasn't happening. With older men, black men, that generation wasn't going for that at all. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now it's too emotional and all this other kind of stuff, and I'm like, people, we going down tubes if you don't focus on what you want out of life, and then, like, for example, a brother called me about his credit, and I'm going with the guy. He's still not getting it. I'm trying to explain. You've been in that apartment for 10 years. You don't get him $75,000 and you don't have no equity. Mm-hmm. But you want to make the first step. So what you want me to do? Brother, I'm older than you. Take my advice or not, you're going to be the same boat when I was years ago.
Right.
You shouldn't want to do that. I mean, I wouldn't, you know. But that's all I'm saying is, you know, like you teach all the time, people don't want to, they say bad things, but that's what though. If you go to college, you got to do certain things. This is a great college right here.
Right. Absolutely. You know, when we talk about purpose, you know, there's only a small number of people who are going to walk in their purpose and make something really serious happen within their lifetime. A lot of us, we don't start listening until it's too late, almost. And so that's the reason why we really wanted to do this show, is because, you know, if you could see young brothers saying this, if you could see our elder brothers saying this, all throughout your life, your purpose matters. And you got to walk in that purpose. You got to stay focused on that purpose, and you can't allow people to take you away from that purpose. So thank you so much, Brother Yasha Allah. Your contributions are always most appreciated. And thank you for walking in that purpose, because I benefit from you walking in your purpose. Other black men that watch this channel operate from you in this purpose. And to be quite honest with you, the reason why so many of us as young black men don't know where we're going from a hole in the wall is because there were so many brothers that was older than ourselves who weren't walking in their purpose. And that's the reason why we never knew who our fathers were. That's the reason why we never had positive role models to help us understand the significance of walking in our calling. So thank you so much for being you, brother. Always appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, now. So we've got a few more minutes, but I want to say something real quick. I just want you to see different comments that we have, right? Smiley Comforts. I am now 20 years old and I own 2 small businesses. It's hard, but it's a part of my 5-year plan and I work towards achieving it. Great job, great job, great job, great job. For somebody to accomplish this, they had to have a purpose that they were walking in. I know y'all gonna get tired of hearing me say this, but if you don't take anything else away, now is the time to ask yourself, my people, what is your purpose? Do you amount to more than just wake up, go to work, wake up, go to work, wake up, go to work, wake up, get in traffic, go to work, you hate your job, get done with working, come home, sit on the couch, crack open a brew, watch TV, go to sleep, live life all over again. Is that your purpose? Or is there more to life than this? I'm just trying to get you to see it, but I can't force you to see it. You got to be able to see that on your own. So once again, thank y'all so much for all of the likes. Let me double check to see how we doing on that. Make sure that y'all continuing to like this channel, y'all. Make sure that you continue to smash that like button. Make sure that you continue the super chats. Keep the super chats coming. This helps to keep the show running, y'all. We need to keep the show running while we can before it's too late. So please keep the super chats coming. And thank you so much for supporting Positive Black Media. Now, as we close this out, of course, we got to promote. We got to put on 5 people. So one thing that I want to start telling y'all about, and we'll maybe get into this a little bit more, is the sponsorship that we have through Webull. Some of y'all have seen some of my previous videos where I've told y'all that Webull sponsors Black Men's Career and they give us 2 free stocks. All right. So for those of you, part of your purpose is creating generational wealth. Webull is giving us 2 free stocks. All right. So make sure that you take advantage of that opportunity. I'm going to put the link to that right here. It's an exclusive benefit that comes to those who watch Black Men's Career. Once you sign up with Webull, they give you 2 free stocks. You ain't even got to put up your own money towards getting these 2 free stocks. All right. And that'll put you on the path towards being an investor and creating generational wealth. Now, let's talk about these businesses. So the brother that you just saw on the camera, he deals with credit repair. What he does is he shows you how credit builds personal equity. Now, when he helps people in his credit, one of the first things that he does to help you boost your credit and fix, all of your delinquencies is put you on a path of success. Typically, it takes anywhere from 6 to 8 months to truly fix your credit, y'all. So if you're thinking about getting your credit fixed up, which is very important, because if you're looking to be a homeowner, if you're looking to take advantage of different opportunities, your credit matters. And like I always tell y'all, stop waiting until you need the thing to start working on the thing. If you need a thing tomorrow, you got to be working on it today. So if you want to improve your credit, feel free to send an email to betterlivingsolutions21@gmail.com. Betterlivingsolutions21@gmail.com is dedicated to helping you improve your credit. All right. Now, if you have a business that you want to see promoted on this show, again, as always, send me an email and I will give your business free promotion during this slot. All you got to do is send me an email with all of the details, your website, what you offer, how people can get in contact with you. Send me an email at uzziah@blackmenscareer.com and I'll make sure that I do free promo to give you the plug. Now, I always talk to y'all about how you can make the most of your life. This show is created so that way we as a people can become the best versions of ourselves. So as always, if you want to work with me more closely to help you get the success that you desire, I'm giving you a free trial into my 12-month coaching program, your breakthrough year. A lot of y'all, you watch my videos, you see all of the free game that I give out, and you ask, hey, how can I work with you further? How can, I learn? For those of you that want to be able to really take things to the next level, I'm going to give you a free 14-day trial for you to get into my 12-month coaching program known as your breakthrough year. This will show you how to reach your goals, make more money, and maximize your productivity. Y'all saw someone come on yesterday named Antonio. The brother paid off over $300,000 in debt from the time that he started working with me. When you get in your breakthrough year, I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step process to reach your biggest goals 10 times faster. The reason why it's called your breakthrough year is because you're going to learn how to have your most productive year ever, even if you feel like you've been stuck in the exact same place. You're going to learn how the most successful people manage their time, money, and energy to get their best results. So if you feel like you are ready to have a breakthrough year, then this is the program for you. Again, I'm giving this to you as a free 14-day trial. Okay. All you got to do is click the link and sign up. I'm putting it on the screen just so you can see it. If you want to get access to the free 14-day trial of my 12-month coaching program, your breakthrough year, all you got to do is click that link and sign up, and you will receive free access for the next 14 days. You can get in the program, soak up game, and you can decide how you want to move forward. So once again, the next show, now I'm going to put this out there. So as y'all saw, this is the very first week of the Uzziah show. How did y'all enjoy it? What did y'all think of week 1 of the Uzziah show? Leave me a comment. Let me know what y'all thought. Maybe this was your first show. Maybe it was your second show. Maybe you've been on here all week. But my goal is to hold down this show every week on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, outside of me celebrating the high holy days of God. Yasha Allah said that he's loved the show. That is great. Thank you, my brother, for all of the support. Okay, one thing that I need y'all to know, the next show is going to be next Tuesday at 7 p.m. The next show is going to be next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Yasha Allah said it feels like he's at Baylor because he's getting a lot of learning. He's getting a lot of learning from this show. So shout out to that brother. And again, leave me your comments. Let me know if there's things that you want to see added to the show. Let me know if there are certain ideas on certain show topics that you want me to talk about. Again, all you got to do is just send me an email. If you want me to talk about certain things, the next episode we're talking about, do black men lack confidence? Do black men lack confidence? Yes or no? That's what we're talking about on the next show. That's going to be next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Okay, next Monday, I'm going to be taking some time celebrating one of the Lord's holy days. So please bear with me. We'll be back on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure that y'all ready for the next episode, y'all. Do black men have confidence? Do we have what it takes to get to the next level? Do you believe in yourself? Why or why not? I have my thoughts, but make sure that you tune in. And anybody else that you know that needs to hear this, make sure that they tune in as well. As y'all know, every black man in America needs to know about this show. What they do with this show is on them, but we need to provide our people with the access. So if you have questions and you want my help, make sure that you're on live. If you got friends that have questions about how to start their own business, how to make more money, how to improve their credit, how to invest, make sure that they're on the show. If you have a business that you want promoted for free, then make sure that you're on the show. All right. So thank you so much for all of y'all's support. Thank you so much, Lauren, for that $5 super chat, bringing us home with another super chat to close this thing out. Thank y'all so much for the super chats. Just in case y'all don't know how super chats work, but you have Cash App, you can send a Cash App donation to Black Men's Career. All right. Cash App to Black Men's Career. All right. And make sure, like Lauren said, this hooks you up with the Webull. You get 2 free stocks as soon as you join. Just compliments of Webull. A Diamond says, my second show, very edifying. I'm promoting to all Black men I can. Any Cash App options to get a question answered? Yes, Angela. If you could send me a super chat right here, I could see it on the screen, so I could deal with your question right here, right now. However, if you Cash App me, just send me a message and let me know. Leave me a comment. Let me know that you Cash App me. Put your question on the screen still. And as soon as I get that Cash App, I'll make sure that I take care of the question and I'll make sure that you're good to go. All right. So we're going to be on for next Tuesday. I don't know if any of y'all sent me. I'm going to check Cash App real quick just to see. So that way I don't miss out on nothing. If y'all have any questions, if there's anything that y'all want me to go into right now, now is the time before we hop off. Are there any questions before we hop off? Thank you so much, Lauren, once again for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much once again, Dunamis, for the $10 super chat. Thank you for supporting Positive Black Media. Thank you, Native, for the $10 super chat. Thank you, as always, Brother Yasha Allah, for the $15 super chat. You're definitely helping to keep the lights on this show. So thank y'all so much for the support. We'll pick back up next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. Do Black Men Lack Confidence? I'll see y'all then. Continue working hard. Let's continue to pray for each other. Let's continue to stay focused. And most important, keep pushing. See y'all next week, Lord willing.